Look around you. The world is moving, bustling, indifferent, and relentless. No one is waiting to hand you success. No one will pat your back when you stumble, and very few will cheer when you rise. The truth is sharp and simple. Nobody cares. And that, my friends, is not a curse. It is a gift, because in that freedom, in that solitude, lies your power. When the world turns away, you are left with yourself, your choices, and your work. It is here, in this quiet battlefield of your own making, that greatness is born. So I ask you, will you wait for the applause that may never come, or will you rise, roll up your sleeves, and focus on the one person who truly matters? You? Look around you. The world is moving, bustling, indifferent, and relentless. No one is waiting to hand you success. No one will pat your back when you stumble, and very few will cheer when you rise. The truth is sharp and simple. Nobody cares. And that, my friends, is not a curse. It is a gift, because in that freedom, in that solitude, lies your power. When the world turns away, you are left with yourself, your choices, and your work. It is here, in this quiet battlefield of your own making, that greatness is born. So I ask you, will you wait for the applause that may never come, or will you rise, roll up your sleeves, and focus on the one person who truly matters, you? Every moment that passes is a moment the world moves forward, with or without you. Life will not pause for your doubts, your fears, or your hesitation. It will not stop to comfort you when the journey feels long and heavy. And that is exactly why you must move faster, stronger, and braver than the currents that push against you. Your dreams are not waiting in a line. They are waiting for your effort, your persistence, your sweat, and your courage. The world's indifference is not your enemy. It is your reminder. It tells you that if you want it, you must reach for it yourself. You may stumble, you may fall, you may face days when your strength feels too small for the mountain before you. But remember this, the mountain does not shrink. It does not move. It waits for the climber willing to keep putting one foot in front of the other. No matter how heavy the steps, no matter how many times the earth beneath you trembles. When no one is watching, that is when your character is built. That is when your resolve becomes unshakable. Work quietly, work fiercely, work until your own eyes shine with pride at what you have accomplished. Do not seek validation. Do not wait for someone to notice. The world's applause is fleeting. Your inner voice lasts a lifetime. If you focus on others' opinions, you will drift in the currents of their expectations. But if you focus on yourself, on sharpening your skills, on strengthening your mind and your heart, you will create a life that even the noise of the world cannot drown out. You will become unstoppable because your foundation will not rely on the fragile applause of strangers, but on the rock-solid certainty of your own effort. So rise. Rise while the world keeps moving. Rise when no one is looking. Rise with the courage that comes from knowing the only one responsible for your success is you. Your work matters. Your persistence matters, and your focus matters more than anything else. Let the world care for itself while you care for your dreams. Let it pass by while you carve your path. Nobody cares, and that is your liberation. You are free to build, to grow, and to shine exactly as you are meant to. There is a quiet strength in standing alone, in knowing that the world's approval is not your fuel. To rely on others for your confidence is to hand them the reins of your life, to let their doubts, their fears, their whims shape the way you move. But self-reliance, that is power. It is the kind of power that cannot be taken, borrowed, or stolen. It is yours, born of patience, courage, and the willingness to trust in the person staring back at you in the mirror. When you lean on yourself, every step you take becomes steady. Every choice you make becomes certain. You no longer wobble in the shadows of others' expectations, for your foundation is built on your own unwavering strength. To be self-reliant does not mean to be alone. It does not mean to shut out the voices of guidance or wisdom, but it does mean to listen first to your own heartbeat. It means to test your limits, to face your fears, to find your answers within the chambers of your own mind and soul. The world may offer advice, criticism, or praise, but the final word belongs to you. When you can make a decision and stand by it, when you can rise after failure without waiting for someone else to tell you that you are worthy, that is when your life becomes yours to shape. That is when the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Self-reliance asks for patience, for resilience, and for a deep understanding that growth is often silent. The person who relies on others seeks the applause before the effort. The self-reliant soul works in quiet confidence, knowing that the reward is in the journey, not the recognition. Each skill you sharpen, each fear you conquer, each day you dedicate to your purpose without seeking permission from the world, adds bricks to a fortress that no storm can shake. That fortress is your life, your work, your story, guarded by the knowledge that you alone hold the key. It is not always easy to trust yourself. There will be times when doubt whispers, when failure shouts, when the temptation to look outward for validation is strong. But it is in those moments that the power of self-reliance reveals itself. It tells you to stand tall, to speak your truth, to move forward even when no one else understands. It reminds you that the voice of the world is fleeting, but the voice of your own integrity is eternal. When you trust yourself, you do not just survive, you thrive. You do not just move, you soar. So take ownership of your life. Trust the hands that guide your actions, for they are yours. Trust the mind that makes your decisions, for it is brilliant in ways the world may never see. Trust the heart that keeps you moving, for it beats with a rhythm that belongs only to you. The power of self-reliance is not loud or boastful. It is steady, persistent, and unwavering. It is the quiet fire that burns within, lighting your path, warming your spirit, and carrying you through every challenge. Stand in it, own it, and let no one, no circumstance, and no doubt steal from you the most powerful gift of all, your own trust in yourself. There is a quiet danger in looking to the paths of others. We live in a world where the success of another is constantly paraded before our eyes, and it is easy, so easy, to measure ourselves against what we see. But every person walks a road that is theirs alone, shaped by choices, struggles, and moments the world will never witness. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your focus, your energy. When you measure your life against someone else's story, you forget the beauty and the power of your own journey. There is no value in imitation and no growth in envy. Your path is yours, uniquely designed for the purpose, the dreams, and the battles that belong only to you. To focus on your journey is to trust in the process, even when it feels slow, uncertain, or invisible. The milestones you reach may seem small in the eyes of others, but they are enormous in the shaping of your soul. The work you put in today, the patience you practice in moments of doubt, the courage you summon when the road is steep, all of this is yours. Do not let someone else's pace or their victories dictate how you move. The river does not compete with the ocean. It flows, carving its way through valleys and stones, relentless in its course, patient in its progress, and unstoppable in its purpose. Be that river. Move steadily, move intentionally, move without fear of what others are achieving. Focusing on your journey also means embracing your failures, your detours, and the moments when the road seems impossible to walk. These are not signs that you are behind. They are evidence that you are growing. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every obstacle is a teacher, shaping you, building resilience, and preparing you for the life that only you are meant to live. When you compare yourself to someone else, you ignore these teachers. You miss the lessons hidden in the struggle. Your journey is your education, your triumph, your story, and no one else can walk it for you. Celebrate your progress, no matter how quiet it may be. Every step forward is a victory, even if the world does not see it. Every time you rise when the path feels too heavy, every time you choose to keep moving when giving up would be easier, you are honoring your journey. Do not diminish the significance of your path because it looks different from another's. You were never meant to walk their road. You were never meant to live by someone else's timeline. Your journey is sacred, and it is extraordinary simply because it is yours. So focus. Focus on your growth, your dreams, your steps. Let the noise of the world fade into the background while you listen to the rhythm of your own heart. Let envy, doubt, and comparison fall away like leaves in autumn, and let clarity, purpose, and persistence guide your every move. The world may judge, it may mock, it may ignore, but it cannot take away the power of a life lived fully, intentionally, and on your own path. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your heart steady. Your journey is yours alone, and it is magnificent. There is a quiet power in leaning into what makes you uneasy. The world will often offer you comfort, soft paths, and easy choices, but those roads rarely lead to growth. True transformation is born in the moments that test your courage, in the hours when every step forward feels heavy, and in the silence where no one cheers for your effort. Discomfort is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It is the crucible that shapes character, the furnace that strengthens resolve, and the storm that cleanses weakness. To embrace discomfort is to step willingly into the fire, knowing that what comes out will be stronger, wiser, and more alive than what went in. We are often afraid of struggle because it makes us feel exposed, vulnerable, and uncertain. But vulnerability is the soil in which resilience grows. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that presses against you, is an opportunity to discover the depth of your own courage. When the path is rough, when the nights are long, and when the weight of expectation and doubt seems unbearable, remember this: the struggle is not punishment, it is preparation. It is molding your spirit, stretching your heart, and refining your mind. The more discomfort you face, the more unshakable you become, and the louder your life will eventually sing. To embrace discomfort is also to embrace change. Change is often inconvenient. It pushes you out of routines, it forces you to let go of what is familiar, and it demands that you grow faster than your fear allows. But without change, there is no progress. Without discomfort, there is no awakening. The moments that challenge you most are the very moments that carry the seeds of your greatest breakthroughs. Life's lessons are rarely found in ease and convenience. They are hidden in the struggle, in the uncertainty, and in the courage to keep moving when you would rather stop. This is not a call to seek suffering, nor is it a romanticization of pain. It is a call to recognize that growth is not gentle, that success is rarely soft, and that the life worth living is often uncomfortable. When you feel resistance, when your body says rest and your mind says quit, push forward anyway. Let the resistance teach you, let the struggle strengthen you, and let the discomfort remind you that you are alive, capable, and rising. The harder it feels, the more it shapes you. The moments that feel impossible now are the moments you will later look back on with pride, knowing they forged the person you have become. So step into the discomfort, walk toward it with open eyes and an open heart. Let it stretch your limits, test your patience, and awaken your courage. Let it whisper truths you would not hear in comfort. Stand tall when it presses against you, and keep moving when it seems to slow you down. Discomfort is the hand that lifts you, the fire that tempers you, and the wind that teaches you to fly. When you embrace it, you will discover that the life you once thought was out of reach has been waiting for you all along, on the other side of fear, on the other side of doubt, and in the embrace of your own relentless determination. There is a quiet power in continuing when no one is watching. The world may overlook your efforts, may ignore your sacrifices, and may never applaud the hours you pour into your craft. Recognition is fleeting, applause is temporary, and praise often comes long after the work is done. But resilience, The kind that keeps you moving despite the silence is permanent. It builds a foundation beneath your feet that cannot be shaken by doubt, criticism, or indifference. While others wait to be seen, you move unseen. And in that movement, you grow stronger than any applause could ever make you. Resilience asks for patience, for courage, and for an understanding that life is rarely fair. The truth is, people will often notice only the final product, the visible success, or the sparkling outcome. They will rarely witness the quiet mornings, the long nights, and the relentless persistence that brought it into being. But you do not need their recognition. Your efforts are not meaningless because they are unseen. They are the soil from which your future blooms. Every time you rise after a setback, every time you continue despite fatigue or doubt, you are building a life that cannot crumble. That is the power of resilience over recognition. To be resilient is to trust the process and to honor your own journey, regardless of who is watching. It is to show up when the world looks away, to keep going when the applause is silent, and to hold fast to your dreams even when they feel out of reach. Recognition is external and uncertain, but resilience is internal and unwavering. It is forged in the fires of persistence, tempered by discipline, and polished by consistency. When you learn to value your effort over the acknowledgement of others, you claim a freedom few will ever know, a freedom to grow, to create, and to thrive on your own terms. There will be moments when your heart aches for appreciation, when the silence feels deafening, and when the weight of being unnoticed threatens to crush your spirit. Those moments are not signs of failure. They are tests of your inner strength. In the quiet, you discover who you truly are. In the solitude, you find the courage to trust your path. In the absence of recognition, you learn to celebrate your own victories, no matter how small, and to keep moving with unwavering faith. That is the essence of resilience, to persevere because you must, because you are committed, because your life is yours to shape, not because anyone will tell you that it matters. Your dreams are not gifts handed down by the world. They are not promises whispered in the wind by strangers or friends. They are yours, crafted in the quiet chambers of your heart, shaped by the desires that keep you awake at night, fueled by the visions that your mind refuses to forget. And because they are yours, the responsibility to bring them to life rests solely on your shoulders. No one owes you success, no one owes you comfort, and no one owes you encouragement. To wait for another's permission is to let your life drift away while the world continues on its relentless course. It is easy to wish for opportunity, to hope for support, to dream of recognition, but dreams remain fragile unless you take ownership of them. The hands that mold them, the courage that breathes life into them, and the persistence that carries them forward, these belong only to you. Others may admire, they may cheer, they may even offer guidance, but at the end of every day, it is your own work, your own choices, and your own dedication that determine whether those dreams grow wings or gather dust. To claim your dreams is to accept the weight of responsibility, and to accept that weight is to rise stronger, braver, and more capable than you imagined. Your dreams will demand sacrifices. They will ask you to rise early when the world sleeps, to work when no one is watching, and to persist when failure whispers your name. They will test your resolve, challenge your patience, and push you to the edges of your comfort. But it is in answering these demands, in standing firm when doubt threatens, that you honor your dreams. Every step you take to build, every effort you make to improve, every time you choose action over hesitation, is a declaration that you are the architect of your own destiny. The blueprint of your life cannot be completed by anyone else. Only your hands, your heart, and your focus can bring it into existence. Do not be fooled by the illusion that others can carry your dreams for you. Success borrowed from someone else's effort is hollow and fleeting. The life you long for is constructed with sweat, persistence, and the unwavering belief that you alone are capable of crafting it. This is not arrogance, it is clarity. This is not selfishness, it is necessity. If you want to see your dreams materialize, you must stand in the fire of responsibility, face the weight of challenges, and embrace the labor required to turn vision into reality. And so, let your dreams be your compass and your responsibility your fuel. Do not wait for others to lift you, for the world is indifferent and applause is not guaranteed. Instead, rise each day determined, knowing that the power to shape your destiny lies entirely in your hands. Build, strive, persist, and focus, for when you take full responsibility for your dreams, you will discover a strength you never knew existed, a courage that refuses to quit, and a life that is no longer defined by what others give you, but by what you create yourself. In that creation, you will find freedom, power, and fulfillment beyond measure. Resilience is the backbone of every great story, the silent rhythm behind every triumph, and the steady pulse that carries you through the storms. It teaches you that what lasts is not the applause of the crowd, but the strength you build within yourself. When you rise, not for recognition, but for the integrity of your own work, you create a life anchored in purpose, fortified by perseverance, and unshaken by the opinions of others. Let the world withhold its praise. Let the world turn away. Your resilience, your persistence, and your unwavering focus will carve a path that no recognition can ever define, and in that, you will find a power deeper than any applause could ever give. It is easy to look only at the mountain ahead and forget the small steps that have brought you this far. We often measure success by grand achievements, by milestones that shine brightly in the eyes of the world, and yet it is the quiet victories, the small wins, that truly build the strength to climb higher. Each choice to rise when the day feels heavy, each effort made when no one notices, each step forward when the path is uncertain. These are not insignificant. They are the threads that weave the fabric of your success, the building blocks of your courage, and the whispers of progress that grow louder over time. When you celebrate small wins, you honor the journey, not just the destination. Too often, we push ourselves past exhaustion, waiting for the grand moment, the recognition, or the applause that may never come. And in that waiting, we fail to see the power in our own movement. Every page written, every skill practiced, every challenge faced is a triumph. Every moment you choose perseverance over surrender, hope over despair, action over hesitation, these are victories in themselves. They are proof that you are moving forward, proof that you are growing, and proof that your dreams are not mere fantasies, but possibilities made real through effort. Celebrating small wins is also an act of self-respect. It tells your mind, your heart, and your spirit that your work matters, that your dedication is worthwhile, and that your journey deserves acknowledgement. You do not need the applause of strangers to know that you are building something meaningful. By recognizing your own achievements, no matter how quiet or unseen, you create a rhythm of motivation that carries you through the darkest moments. Small victories light the path forward, one deliberate step at a time, until the mountain no longer feels insurmountable. Do not diminish the significance of progress that seems minor. The river does not carve the canyon in a day, but in the patient persistence of each drop of water. The tree does not grow overnight, but in the quiet accumulation of sunlight, water, and time. So too, your life, your goals, and your dreams grow through the steady accumulation of effort, choice, and small victories. To ignore them is to ignore the rhythm of growth itself and to deny yourself the encouragement that fuels resilience. Celebrate what you have done, not just what you hope to do. And when you celebrate small wins, you remind yourself that you are capable, that you are moving forward, and that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your vision. It is in these quiet celebrations, often alone, that your determination is strengthened. It is here that you gather the courage to rise again, to try again, and to continue forward when the world may not notice. Let every small victory be a spark, a quiet flame that illuminates your path and reminds you that greatness is not only in the destination, but in the steady, deliberate steps that bring you there. The world is loud. It shouts opinions, criticisms, doubts, and distractions from every corner. It tells you who you should be, what you should do, and how far you can go, often before you have had the chance to even hear your own thoughts. And if you listen too closely, if you let these voices take root, they will shape your life in ways that belong to others, not to you. To achieve anything meaningful, to grow, to rise, you must learn to silence the noise. You must find the space where your own voice speaks, where your own heart beats, and where your own wisdom can guide your steps without interference. Silencing the noise does not mean ignoring advice or refusing help. It means filtering what is necessary from what is distracting. It means valuing clarity over chaos, purpose over opinion, and inner truth over external judgment. The world will always have 1,000 reasons why you should slow down, give up, or follow a path that does not belong to you. But when you quiet the chatter, when you turn your attention inward, you discover a rhythm and a guidance that no voice outside of you can replicate. It is there, in that quiet, that the seeds of creativity, resilience, and determination are sown. Every distraction is a test of your focus. Every doubt cast by others, a challenge to your resolve. The opinions of people who have not walked your journey, who have not felt your struggles, and who have not dreamed your dreams are irrelevant to the work you must do. They are a storm on the surface, but beneath lies the calm of your purpose. When you silence the noise, you protect that calm. You create a space where your thoughts can grow, where your effort can multiply, and where your vision can take shape without being clouded by comparison, judgment, or expectation. Silencing the noise also demands courage. It is easier to follow the crowd, to seek validation, and to act according to the pressures of society. But the voice within you, the one that whispers your purpose, your dreams, your truth, cannot flourish in the clamor of the world. You must be willing to step into silence, to stand firm when opinions challenge you, and to hold your focus steady when distractions pull at every corner of your mind. In that silence, clarity emerges. In that silence, action becomes purposeful. In that silence, you discover the power of your own mind and the strength of your own will. When you silence the noise, you realize that the world's doubts are not your limits, the criticisms are not your boundaries, and the skepticism of others is not your measure. Your clarity, your focus, and your determination are all that matter. Let the world speak. Let it judge, doubt, and question. You do not need to respond. Your life, your dreams, and your success belong to you alone. Protect your focus, listen to your heart, and let the quiet power within guide you. In that stillness, you will find your path, your strength, and the unwavering courage to rise above the clamor of the world and step fully into your own life. In the end, the world will not remember how loudly you spoke, how many eyes watched, or how much praise was poured upon you. What will remain is the life you built, the effort you gave, and the work you poured your soul into day after day. Legacy is not applause, it is action. It is not the fleeting admiration of the crowd, but the quiet, enduring imprint of dedication, integrity, and courage. Every choice you make, every effort you give, and every challenge you rise above becomes a part of that legacy. It is in these moments, often unseen, that your true mark on the world is made. To focus on your legacy is to live with intention, to act with purpose, and to measure your life by the substance of your work rather than the recognition it receives. People will come and go, opinions will shift, and time will move on. But the fruits of your labor endure. The work you do, the character you cultivate, and the impact you leave behind ripple far beyond the life you see today. When you dedicate yourself to building something meaningful, even in silence, You are planting seeds for a future that will outlast applause and echo long after you are gone. Legacy is built in the small, consistent acts that may seem insignificant in the moment, but accumulate into greatness over time. The hours spent learning, practicing, creating, and persevering are invisible to most, but they are the foundation of everything that lasts. Every decision to rise instead of surrender, to act with integrity instead of convenience, and to keep moving when the world doubts you, strengthens the foundation of your life. Your work, your persistence, and your unwavering focus become a testament not to what the world gave you, but to what you gave the world through your own effort. Do not let the desire for recognition dictate your actions, for recognition is temporary and often incomplete. Your work is your legacy, and your legacy is eternal. The world may not see your struggles, your sacrifices, or the nights you spent building when no one was watching, but that does not diminish their value. Every effort matters, every step matters, every choice matters. What you craft in quiet diligence is what will speak when voices have faded and applause has died away. Your legacy is not for the crowd, it is for the world, for those who will come after you, and most importantly, for yourself. It is the proof of a life lived with purpose, the echo of courage in the hearts of others, and the enduring trace of a soul that refused to waste its gifts. When you work hard, when you focus, and when you refuse to depend on applause, you create a life that inspires, a story that endures, and a presence that will be remembered long after the world forgets to notice. Build it carefully, build it boldly, build it with the knowledge that your legacy is nothing less than the work of your hands, your heart, and your unwavering spirit.